finals of the AllThingsTerran in-house tournament. We are going to be doing the first match of the semifinals here between Drift and Magnath. Drift, Magnath, welcome. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thank you.
It's hype. Very hype.
You're very hype? Awesome
Hype.
stuff, boys. All right. Now, additionally, you two have had two very, very close matches. In fact, everybody did leading up to the semifinals. Almost all matches. No, not even almost. Literally all the matches went to game 5.
1-3-2.
Yeah, they were all really intense series. Do you guys want to quickly tell us how your matches in the quarterfinals went? Let's start with you, Magnath. How was your matches against Lanzer?
They were very close for sure. Once I was 2-1 down, I was expecting Nanzer to actually win the series, and I started to be nervous. And then I brought it back with Proxy Robo and Mass
Cannon
Colossus.
Rush, right? Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
Mass Colossus game in game number 5 was really exciting. And Drift, on the other hand, it looked like in your games versus oh sorry, go ahead, Magnath.
Nothing. I was just gonna bring up the slash dancing.
Oh yeah. You did fail the dance at the end there. And sorry, where was I? Drift, in your games versus Basher, it looked like you had some really strong bio play, but it doesn't look like you were able to close it out, so you brought Mech out as a response against Basher. Tell us about that. How is that going for you?
It's going good. I just like having diversity in my playstyle, and I think that's one of the strengths I have as a player is I can do it all, and I can do whatever the situation most deems necessary.
Yeah, and it was really interesting how you like completely flipped your series on its head. Now, both of you here actually have a huge clash of styles. Drift, a more defensive player, and Magnath, a very early and aggressive player. How do you two feel like your games are going to go head to head against each other?
I feel like it might look like my ladder sessions a bit.
There was a strat I wanted to do against Lanzer that I couldn't, but it's gonna happen against Drift.
Oh, okay, that's exciting. How are you expecting this strategy to go? Do you think it's going to clean up Drift, or do you think it's going to be like a toss up here?
I mean, either or, it's gonna be fun.
It's going to be fun. That's fair. I do like to hear that. And you did actually promise us after the group stages that you were going to show us some cool stuff. Drift, can you say the same thing?
Oh yeah, lots of diversity for you guys today.
Awesome stuff. Now, since we got that out of the way, as you two both know, after this match, the winner of this will be advancing to the not the semis, but the grand finals in this tournament against either Josh or Cognite. Now, just out of curiosity, do both of you have a preferred player you would rather play against if you two were to win?
I don't mind either of them. I think both of Josh and Cognite are the same level. Maybe Josh is a bit more scary, because Cognite is more standard.
That's fair. That's fair. And Drift, how about you?
I think, it would be nice to have something besides 4 to 5 Protosses in a row for this tournament.
Yes.
So I think Josh would be great, but then Josh is also very aggressive in his early play, so that's not always the most fun thing to fight against. But either way, I'd be happy with either opponent.
All right, that's awesome to hear. Now let's move on to our map picks and our map vetoes here. Well, no vetoes actually for the semifinals, just your map picks. Now, Magnath, you are the higher seed, so looking at the map pool, you are going to be able to choose the first map. What would you like to start this series off with?
Blue Shift.
Blue Shift? Okay, Blue Shift will be our first map. And Drift, how about you?
Let's go year 0.
Okay, year 0 will be our second map. Magnath, back to you.
I think I want Expedition Lost.
Expedition Lost, that's an exciting one. Okay, so Expedition Lost will be our third map. Drift, fourth map.
Iron Fortress.
Okay, Iron Fortress. Very, very old and fun map. And that means our final map from the 5 map pools will be Eastwatch. And now moving on to the custom maps, Drift, what map would you like to see?
Cobalt.
Cobalt, as in like the GSL Cobalt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good pick. Okay, we'll be doing Cobalt from GSL as our 6th map. And Magnath, how would you like to close this out?
I want Eternal Empire.
Eternal Empire.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that's no longer in the pool.
Yeah, a map that was just rotated. It is a legacy map. Points for the theme. Drift, unfortunately, you are going to be down a map in this series after Magnath just took that small little victory off you. Just kidding. Alright, now before we get started in this series, do you guys have a preferred server you would like to play on? Magnath, I do know
of
you're in
course.
Europe. You want to play in West, or...?
No, just East.
Okay, and
Unless
Drift, are
you
you
guys
cool
can
with
do
East?
EU as well.
Let me check my connection to East. 62 ms.
Okay, and Magnath, what's your connection to East?
It's 180.
Oh, okay, well, we're definitely doing East then.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Alright, so before we get started, anything you two want to say to each other before your guys' match starts? Any shit talk, perhaps?
No, just good luck and congrats on your thing.
Good luck. And have you ever been told you sound like Cyril?
He does sound like
Very-
Cyril!
Very many times. Like you're not the only person. You're
I
not the
actually do
10th
remember that.
person. You're not the 20th person.
That's so funny. You know what, Magnath, if you do end up winning this match, please, for the interview, just talk about mech the way Cyril did, about how you don't know how to beat it, but you do
I
anyways.
don't know why they don't go mech. Whenever they go mech, they never lose, but they never go mech.
Holy shit. I will die of laughter if you do. Alright guys, best of luck to both of you in your game. We'll be loading into blue shift here. And again, best of luck.
Thank you.
Alright, we are going to be loading into map number 1. We're going to ask both players if they're ready. Okay, Magnath is ready. I'm just waiting on Drift now here. And Drift is also ready. Alright everybody, we are going to be loading into map number 1 here in the first semi-final match of this tournament between Drift and Magnath on Blue Shift. Drift, a player who has a lot of diverse styles in his Terran play. He can mix it up both with mech and bio, and Magnath, one of the more aggressive players in this tournament, has very, very strong micro and a lot of good cheeses. We'll be seeing how these two players clash with their styles here, as you're going to be spawning in to Blue Shift now. And spawning in the bottom left, the blue Terran player representing Born Gosu, it is Drift. And over here, his challenger in the top right, the pink Protoss representing Easy Dunk, it is Magnath. It's been a whole week since we last casted, so these players have had a ton of time to prepare their strategies. And we're going to be seeing an early pylon and early depot from both Drift and Magnath, neither player opting to send out any workers for a possible cheese. So far, it looks like we've got a standard game that's about to unfold here. And we're about to see here from the first SCV that comes out from Drift if he's going to throw it on a gas or not. We do see, actually, yep, we do see the racks and then the gas. So Drift will be, instead of going for a gas first style, Drift will be opting for the standard racks first. On the other side of things, Magnath is dropping both his first and second gas extremely early here, as he's going to be sending out his probe for possibly a proxy gate. Usually Protoss don't take their second gas until after the natural has been started, as well as the first pylon at the natural. I guess in this case it is the second pylon. We're going to be right away seeing Cybercore here from Magnath, and probably a proxy pylon here in just a minute as he heads to his proxy spot down here at the third base. Drift, though, is going to be sending out the 18 SCV scout here as he starts his orbital and his Reaper. Now, Drift is going to be able to scout that this is a proxy based on the lack of a Nexus here. And yeah, this very well could be Proxy Stargate. Magnath is putting this building very close, actually, to the main base of Drift. Drift and his Reaper are going to be rallied just in front of the natural here. Drift will see that there is no Nexus, as he's going to be throwing down a depot and soon a bunker, perhaps. We do see the Stargate and a shield battery. This is going to be a Proxy Void Ray type of game. Drift does have the bunker at the natural. He needs to make some Marines here, and he has to have his Reaper check this out. The Reaper will be checking the opposite side of what he needs to see here over at the north. But will this Reaper eventually... Oh, the Reaper does change trajectory almost immediately here. Is this going to be in range, though, to see this Stargate? We're about to find out here. Drift does go in. Reaper very close to this proxy here. Tech Lab does start on the barracks, so does a factory. Drift, he needs to send his Reaper a little bit further down, and he will see the proxy Stargate. Okay, the cheese is found as a Void Ray is now being warped in here. Will there be a second bunker started here in the main from Drift? Doesn't look like it. Drift will try to take out this this probe here, and while he won't get it, he will actually burn a lot of crucial energy on the shield battery. The Adept does come in to shoo away this Reaper. More Marines are starting at the natural here, but Drift, he doesn't actually have a bunker here at the main base, and it looks like this proxy Void Ray is going to get a lot of damage done. Drift is going to try and swap these two buildings, but the Adept gets into the base, and it will try to cancel this factory here, but its attempt is going to be in vain as Magnath gets in and cancels the SCV, building the bunker in the main. And there is almost no protection here as the Void Ray goes to town on the workers. The Adept will fall here, not after picking the Reaper off first though. Void Ray still picking off workers, now at 3 SCV kills, 4 SCV kills, and a missile turret. Second Void Ray will come in here. The Cyclone not yet able to get on here as the bunker will fall. 3 Marines now against 2 Void Rays. The Void Rays will easily take this, and right now this first game is looking to be a win for Magnath as a gateway is now warping in. This Cyclone, I can't imagine it gets out as it gets instantly locked onto. Wait, the Cyclone actually gets away, and will it pick up a Void Ray? Yes, it will. Drift with an already decent pickoff here of 1 Void Ray. There is going to be a second one on the way here, but that is a little bit sloppy control from Magnath. Drift is mining again, though. He needs to restart these missile turrets, and he needs to somehow get Magfield out. However, Magnath is now starting to warp in 2 Stalkers here, and with these 2 Stalkers, I think Drift is going to be going down here. There isn't a way to take out all of these units here, and Drift going to be typing out as the Cyclone falls. Yep, and map number 1 will be going to Magnath here. Decent cheese coming out from Magnath here. Very strong pick. Drift, with a little bit of a sloppy defense, he's going to have to bring it back in map number 2, which will be year 0. Series is currently 1-0, leading for the Easy Dunk Protoss Magnath here, as he just defeated Drift with a proxy Void Ray build. Right? We're going to be asking both players if they're ready again. Drift is ready. Magnath also ready. We're going to be spawning into map number 2 soon, year 0. As I said before, 1-0, currently leading for the pink Protoss player, Magnath. Year 0, a much larger map than its predecessor, Blue Shift. However, there is still a decent kind of proxy spot on this map for perhaps Void Rays again, if Magnath decides to opt for the same build. However, I don't think he will. Spawning over here, in the top left, the blue Terran, he just lost a match. It is Drift, representing Born Gosu. And spawning exactly opposite from him, in the top right, it is the pink Protoss player. It is Magnath.
That was scary. I need to turn on my thing.
Both players under high stakes here. Whoever wins this match will be moving on to the finals. Magnath has to be feeling comfortable though after just taking the first map off of Drift with that proxy Void Ray build. Drift though, he has to be wondering to himself, because his hold wasn't as good as it should have been. He is opting for gas first here. You have to wonder, what is he thinking in this series? What was his game plan? And he's now probably wondering too, if my first game plan was shut down so easily, how is my next plan going to work out? Magnath is going to be throwing down a gate gas and a second gas here, as well as sending out a very fast proxy probe here. And I believe that Magnath is going to be opting for either a proxy Dark Shrine here, based on the proxy location. Oh wait, he is turning around a little bit here. Drift, on the other hand, he is sending out a much faster scout this game than he did last game. Magnath will be throwing down a proxy pylon here. Drift will scout that this is again a proxy. However, he isn't going to quite realize, I think, that it's a proxy on Magnath's half of the map as opposed to his own. And this is a very nice mind game coming out here from Magnath. Will Magnath drop a Stargate, or will it perhaps be a Twilight Council like I thought? Drift does scout that it's still one Nexus here. What will Magnath drop once this Cybercore finishes? Just gonna get a full scout here. He does see it's fast 2 gases, and that there is no worker coming in here. And as Drift, you have to know something is up. As Drift throws down his factory, makes his Reaper his second depot, he is actually opting to ignore this, oh wow. A proxy Nexus here at the bottom of the map. Very interesting style. And a Stargate from Magnath. Magnath is playing this series beautifully, however Drift will be opting to throw down a bunker in a very fast engineering bay here. Drift is a little bit bamboozled from the style here of Magnath. He is going to scout all around his base. And as Drift, you have to be wondering, what is happening in this series? Now Drift actually, oh no, with this Reaper path, he's not going to be scouting this base for a while here. Drift, he needs to do something. I think he's still under the assumption that it is perhaps a cheese, and he is going to be running into a supply block soon. He needs to throw down another depot. Drift is making Cyclones and Marine. Magnath just making a Depths right now. Drift is going to scout again at his side of the map. He's got to be confused here. This isn't exactly Proxy Oracle. A Fleet Beacon goes down. I think Magnath's going to be going for 2 base carriers this game. And we also see a Robo being thrown down. Magnath investing in all the tech choices as Drift finally starts his Expo. Another reactor will be started on the barracks, as well as a missile turret in the main here from Drift. Drift is a little bit behind here. He is going to be going to this watchtower finally, and with this watchtower, he will actually see all the buildings going here. He will see the Fleet Beacon, he will see the Nexus, and Drift is totally understanding what is happening here. And with knowledge that the Fleet Beacon is there, he is going to finally have Magfield started as he makes more Cyclones here. Magnath typing out the really as 1 more gate and a Robo is in production. Drift now getting a couple probes here. He will pick off 2 probes for his trouble before escaping with the Reaper. Magnath starting to be in a little bit of trouble here as he is going to have both of his Adepts covering his main and his natural. And with a fast Reaper, Drift is going to have a lot of time just punishing this. We do see the Fleet Beacon is finally done, however there's not enough money here to start whatever unit that Magnath perhaps wanted to start here. Drift is, though, really behind in economy as his natural is only starting its orbital here. We do see a second Cyclone coming out here, and no real units out of Magnath other than these 2 Adepts and the Observer that is only now flying across the map. Magnath will pick off this Reaper here, but the 2 Cyclones are out, and we actually see a Mothership instantly being chronoed out here. Drift is going to kill this Adept before going across the map again, and I'm really interested in this strategy. Is this perhaps the build we saw from Neeb in Nation Wars? I can't remember who his opponent was, but if I recall, the way this build's going to work, Magnath is going to fly a Mothership into the main here of Drift before quickly warping in a bunch of units. We do see the Cyclones will get in here. They will kill the Fleet Beacon. Now Drift, he does see that the Nexus is researching something very peculiar here as Magfield is about to finish. Drift can go in again with these Cyclones and possibly kill 2 of these Stalkers here. Magfield finally done, Mothership halfway done. Will Drift go back in here? He lands his natural, and Drift is going to be opting for mech this game. Drift, you need to do stuff with these Cyclones here as he's going to wait for 3 of them before going in again. 1 probe does go on. A lock-on is thrown down on this first Stalker. Okay, the Stalker is thrown back a little. Magnath possibly a little bit worried of this strategy here. Drift, if he keeps making Cyclones and tanks, I think he actually will be able to fight this army. Because just a Mothership and a couple Stalkers, I think a couple Magfield Cyclones can beat that. But that remains to be seen here. Drift does need to get this production going out faster. The Mothership is finally here and about to pop. And Drift will catch more of these units. Oh, he loses a Cyclone though. Not a good start here. A Stalker does go down and Drift loses 2 Cyclones. Oh no, I don't like how this is going anymore for Drift. He will be starting a tank here and getting more units out, but Drift, that's a lot of damage he can't afford to take against what Magnath's going to be doing. Now, Magnath is going to be taking a very, very safe route with this mothership, going all the way to the top before his recall. However, if he decides to do the recall at the top here, the missile turret will be in range to give Drift's units that revelation he needs for cloaked units. But Drift, he needs to get more units out as he starts up a Viking here. Tanks and Vikings are on the way, but Drift running into a couple supply blocks here. Magnath is on 2 bases, Drift on 3. Drift will get this observer here in the natural, but he's gonna need a lot more units than this right now. And the mothership almost on its way here. More Void Rays, more Stalkers, and everything being warped in here from Magnath. Does Drift have enough? Looking at his unit count, I don't think he does. He only has 3 Cyclones and a single Siege tank. That's not going to be enough to hold this. Even with a single tank, that's still too much, especially since the tank is sieged and one of these Cyclones is only on 34 HP. Mothership almost here now. Drift should see it on the minimap. Does he acknowledge it? Oh no. The mothership is going to begin its recall here. A bunch of units being ready to warp into the main here. Drift instantly sieges this tank, but will it actually get a shot off? It does find one. Will it get a Stalker? Yes, it will. The first Viking does go down. Another Stalker will as well. However, several Stalkers being warped in here as Drift is funneling to get back into his main base, and Magnath with a huge bust here. He is going to pick off the Void Ray, but there's still just so many Stalkers here, and I don't think this is it. I think Magnath is going to take game number 2 here. Drift down 2-0 in this series. This isn't looking good for him. Magnath, it just seems like he has his number on Drift. And Drift has to really be feeling the pressure here. Oh, that's a rough loss to take there. We're going to be loading into Expedition Lost. Drift, he has to be confused here. There's so many things going on this game, and Magnath just appears to have it all figured out. Hate to be in this position as the Terran player. Your opponent is completely unreadable, and it seems like his style just isn't the thing here. We are going to be loading into map number 3 on... Sorry, I forgot to wait for Magnath. Sorry about that. Okay, we are going to be loading onto map number 3 here on Expedition Lost. Drift, he tried mech. I think he has to switch it up to bio if he wants to try and win this. We are loading into map number 3, Expedition Lost, though, in this best of 7 series. Currently, it's leading 2-0 for the Easy Dunks, Pink Protoss, Magnath. Apologies for the stream lag here. Anyways, here we are on map number 3, spawning on the top right, the teal Terran player representing Born Gosu. It is Drift. And over here, in the bottom left, we have the Pink Protoss player, won 2 games with 2 very unique strategies. It is Magnath. Drift, I can't imagine what's going through his head here. He's got to be a little tilted after that one. Already actually even starting his first depot a couple seconds late here. Magnath will be throwing down a gateway here as he sends out his probe and takes his first gas. Yep, first gas does come down. On the other hand, for Drift, we do have a Rax burst opening here. Magnath will be sending out his probe almost immediately. It looks like this probe is going just for a scout here, as Drift going to be just kind of doing his opening here. And you gotta wonder, will Magnath try and mix things up with a proxy Stargate again? It is really easy to get units just over here to build those buildings, as Magnath drops 3 immediate sprays. I'm not quite sure what that is, actually. It kind of looks like a skull with like some weird attachments to it. Drift will be sending out a scout as Magnath does his standard expo. Drop on the Nexus here. Drift is going to be going for that standard RFE here, as he has 1 SCV picking out the probe here, and another trying to build the Nexus. Another spray is dropped down for Magnath. 4 proxy sprays here. Drift has to be sweating a little bit here. He needs to send this SCV back, or his mining is going to be very stunted here. Drift will scout that there is a natural this time around, and he will see that there is a second pylon only here in the main. This is a possibility to build a bunker here at the natural. Will Drift do that, though? I don't think he will. This SCV still chasing this probe. He only now sends it back as the Reaper finally goes out. We do see a Marine and soon a factory here from Drift. This should be followed up soon also by a second gas and a bunker. I'm really worried for Drift here. He has so many SCVs on the map. 3 here, 1 building the bunker and 2 only now coming home. Drift's economy is already incredibly stunted here. This isn't looking good for him. The Reaper is just outside the natural. Will it peer up? The Adept may be ready to stop it. Drift does see the Adept. He turns back. The first probe scout from Magnath here, going back in and dying. Doesn't get a full read here of what's happening here. He only sees the building barracks, nothing else. Drift is finally taking his second gas here. Drift, what will he do? It does look like there is no other entrance into this main base here outside of the natural. However, there are these disruptible rocks that Drift could take out later on in the series. Drift is going to be opting for a Hellion. We do see a Robo and a Twilight, though, from Magnath. We will soon see a Starport and possibly either a Tech Lab or a Widowmine. We actually see a Dark Shrine being dropped here in the main base of Magnath. And Drift, will he be opting for that Raven style? Yes, he will. Tech Lab does go down on the factory. This will be a Raven opening game instead of a Mine Drop game. Drift is going to be linking both the Hellion to the Reaper, perhaps for a full main scout as the Adept finally goes out. Will the Hellion meet with the Adept? No, they pass each other. Both units out of each other's vision range. Add-on finally finishes here for Drift. He is going to be lifting up this factory to make that Raven. Hellion at the third, Reaper at the other possible third. Doesn't look like this is the third Magnath will take. Adept almost getting into the main here. Drift cleverly closes the wall just in time here. Warp Prism just now finishing. The Raven will be out, I think, just barely in time here. But Drift, he needs to get in here with these units. There is no engineering base started for the AllThingsTerran as the Adept actually does finally find its way into the main here of Drift. 1 SCV does go down. And Drift, he got stuck here. He's going to lose 2 SCVs. The Adept early shading out of there, I think. He is going to pick this off. 3 Dark Templar warping in here to the Warp Prism. The Raven about to pop here. Drift needs more Marines on this. 1 Dark Templar will be going to the natural here. Drift, he has 8 Marines in total here. He will see the Warp Prism. The DT number 1 is loaded up. Drift, he needs to not lose these Marines right now. Oh, okay. Drift is in a lot of trouble here. So far, 6 more SCVs, 7 more SCVs going down here, 8 more SCVs, 9. Drift, you need to pull from the natural. Oh, 10 SCVs, 11, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20 SCVs going down in all of this. That's such a huge number. Magnath more than double the worker count of Drift here. Drift also, did he get any of his units into the base of Magnath? No, he still has no idea what's happening here. And Magnath, widely successful with this as he starts Blink for DTs and Charge and throws down a massive gateway explosion. Drift, I don't think he has the economy to even recover from this. He needs to start up a wall right now, but I think Magnath's just about to roll Drift here. And right now, Drift, this isn't looking good for him. Oh my god, oh my, I just Combat Shield and Stim are only just starting here, but Charge and several more DTs on the way. Drift doesn't even have confirmation if there's a third drop down or not. Drift is in a lot of trouble here. This isn't looking good, guys. I don't want to be that guy, but Drift only now sending out his Hellions. He has to maybe scan the main or something. Blink 4 DTs is done here. Several more units are being warped in here just outside the disruptible rocks. It would be an amazing play here if Magnath tried to delete these here. But it looks like he is just going to be going for the natural bust as Charge almost done here. Drift, I don't think he can hold this. He needs to retreat up to the ramp here, but he doesn't even know. He sees that there is no third base. But Drift now almost supply capped. More units are going to be streaming in here. Drift will see this. He doesn't have Stim yet. Oh no. Blink will finish on these DTs, and all the units get caught, but huge mine hits here. Never mind, actually, that wasn't as big as I thought. And the units are just streaming in here. And Drift calling GG here. Oh, this is a tragedy for the AllThingsTerran. This is just super rough here. Loading though onto Iron Fortress for game number 4, and Drift on match point. This is the absolute worst position to be in as the Terran player here. You're one game away from being eliminated from this tournament. And while this is a decent map for Drift here, Magnath isn't able to do quite as many cheeses here. Drift, he needs to win 4 more games if he wants to have a shot here. It's a tall order. Drift typing ready. Magnath also going to be typing go go. This isn't looking good, guys. We're going to be loading on to map number 4 and what's possibly going to be the fastest series in the semifinals and possibly the whole tournament here, maybe. This is really, really tragic. We're loading though into map number 4 on Iron Fortress. Spawning here in the top left, the AllThingsTerran, down 3 maps, has a huge order on his hand if he wants to come back. It is Born Gosu's Drift. Spawning vertically in the bottom left from our AllThingsTerran, it is the pink Protoss, Magnath. Leading 3 maps in this best of 7, Magnath has to be feeling absolutely amazing here. Magnath going to be sending out a ridiculously fast probe here, as he is going to right away scout the middle of the map. Drift, I can't possibly imagine what's going through his mind right now. We do see a gateway drop down here from Magnath. I think Magnath is going to try and opt for this early kind of cheese here, as he just sits by the middle here and throws down a pylon in the center. Yep, Magnath is planning to end this series here off of a cheese. This is looking rough, man. Drift is going to be sending out a 17 scout. It is going to be reaching the wrong side of the map. However, he is going to correctly only scout the right side base and then cut across through the corner. So he will at some point see that there is a proxy here, and both workers might actually link up here. I don't know if this is good for Drift or if it's good for Magnath. For Drift's sake, I'm hoping he doesn't see this probe here before Magnath sees his SCV. We do see a Reaper Fast Expand opening from Magnath, as Magnath immediately warps in a Zealot. Magnath does see the SCV, and Drift will see that there's no base here. Does Magnath change up his rally point? No, he doesn't. Magnath is actually rallying to the base here in the top right. Zealot is sent. Oh, Zealot is actually sent to the top left. That is a little bit bad here for Drift. No, Drift, did he change up his scouting path? Oh no, he did, and this SCV is actually going to avoid the middle. This is such a tragedy. Does Drift see this? Maybe if he cuts in. No, the SCV! It completely disregards the path, but the Reaper sees the proxy. The Reaper sees the proxy. He needs to get out of here. Drift needs to start a bunker right now. The Zealot is approaching the natural rapidly. Drift does the right thing. He does build the bunker here, and he does send the Reaper back. He knows the Zealot's on his way. He knows this is a max pax. Drift will see that there is a Zealot here. He needs to kite for his tournament life here. A Stalker on the way. Drift needs another bunker. He needs Marines. He does start up 2 more barracks here. But he needs to kill this Zealot, or he needs to get out now. This is such a bad position. He is correctly opting for the 3x, but no, Drift, you can't lose that Reaper! Oh. Pylon going down. Drift needs to raise this wall. Oh no, GG is called. And Magnath, going to be taking this series 4-0 here. That was a tragedy of a series, as we are going to be loading on to the interview here. Magnath, please join VC. Damn, that was brutal there. What a series. 4-0 for the pink Protoss representing Easy Dunk. Welcome, Magnath, to the voice chat. First off, congratulations on your victory.
Oh, thank you, Ryu.
That was a giant upset, actually, in this tournament here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really, really good about winning this.
That was an impressive series. Almost all 4 of your builds were a hit and an absolute, sorry, they were like just absolute hits there. Like all of your strategies perfectly got into Drift's head. Walk us through each of those games and what you were thinking, starting with game number 1.
Game 1, what happened in game 1? I went Void Rays. Oh yeah. So I planned out the maps very, very well. I found that Blue Shift was well, it's a map that all the cheaters could be done on. Cannon Rush, Proxy Gate, Proxy Void Rays.
Absolutely.
But since all the other maps weren't as good for Proxy Void Rays, I did Proxy Void Rays on it, and it worked out pretty easy. At the moment there, Cyclone, when it killed my first Void Ray, I I thought am I throwing, but then
Yeah,
I
that was
saw
a little bit sloppy.
my gateways finishing and everything, so I felt better about the game.
Yeah. No, it was an impressive cheese, and you did recover it really nicely there. So game 1, you took a really convincing lead, and then game number 2, I actually saw you went for that Mothership Rush and a Proxy Nexus. Was that the build from me back in Catalyst in, I think it was Nation Wars? Was that the same build?
Yeah. No, I just wanted to make it look as much as possible as Proxy Void Ray, so he would blindly counter it, as he did.
Yeah, he did try and like look all over the map for it. Were you expecting him to go mech off of that though?
I didn't expect him to go either or, right? I just was planning on recalling in his main and force fielding.
And it worked out perfectly. Now, we did notice actually when he scouted your natural.
I don't know how he didn't see it coming.
I don't think he saw the Nexus. Yeah, he didn't see the Nexus.
He saw the fleet beacon and me making nothing after the Stargate, so...
Yeah, I think he just barely, in his vision range, wasn't able to see your Nexus, though. I think that's what had him confused.
Oh, wait, he didn't... No, he did see a Nexus with his Reaper.
No, he saw the Nexus with the Reaper, but he didn't see the Nexus producing, is what I mean. Yeah. It was a little bit tragic there. But then game number 2, another giant win. Now, walk us through game number 3, which I think was like a really sick timing from you. What was your thought on that one?
I forgot charge, so my timing was like 30 seconds late.
It was still pretty decent considering your DT damage.
I was basically gonna max out on charge.dt because of how much I forgot charge.
And then finally, after game number 3, game number 4, it looks like you went for a max packs. Why did you opt to go for the max packs on a 4-player map like that?
This is a strat I did get from Neeb though. He did it on Darkness Sanctuary, which was also a 4-player map versus TY.
Oh, was that in the 2018 GSL?
Yeah, in the semifinal.
Right, I remember that.
And he completely popped TY, even though TY was defending really well. And I just copied what he did basically. And since usually the proper way to scout on 4-player maps is to go across the edges and not go diagonally, he was only gonna scout the gateway late.
Right.
Only scouted late.
There was actually one really tragic moment. Drift did have his SCV. It was rallied to the top right base, and then it was rallied immediately to your base in the bottom left. However, the SCV, it showed its path cutting through the middle. The SCV actually went around, so his scout on the gateway was really late. There's a little bit of tragedy striking there. But no, not to take away. That was an awesome series from you, Magnath. You completely...
I wanted to show some.
Yeah.
I wanted to show some of my PV mech, but
came out with some strong builds, honestly. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do to win, right? And all I can say is that was an awesome series, man. That was not the the score I was expecting there. You really, really had a huge upset. Is there anything you want to say to the fans, or anything you're hoping for bringing into the finals?
Easy for easy dunk. Easy dunk finals.
Easy dunk finals? Oh, does that mean you're expecting Josh to take out Cognite in next week's best of 7?
Yep.
Oh, fighting words here coming out from Easy Dunk. And Magnath, once again, congratulations, man, on this 4-0 win. This was possibly, I think, the fastest win here in the tournament, and for a very long series, too. Shame we didn't get to see it go the full way, but well done.
What was your expectation?
To be honest, I was actually expecting this to go 4-3 or 4-2 in favor of Drift or you. It was really a toss-up here based on how the first game went, but I wasn't expecting a 4-0 at all. I gotta say, I'm a little bit shocked there. I think he played it really well, though, man. Congratulations.
I think his weakness is just the early game.
Yeah.
And all the matchups, not just against Ro4.
No, I would agree there, and you did the right thing there by capitalizing on it. Again, congratulations. We'll see you not next week.
I brought in a couple of fun games.
Oh yeah, you showed some awesome stuff there, but we'll be seeing you again, not next week, but the week after, 2 weeks from now, in the grand finals for the AllThingsTerran in-house championship. Thank you, Magnath, for coming. GG's. And for everybody watching, we are going to be concluding it here for today. We only have time to do 1 semifinals. However, we will be back next week on Saturday, hopefully 12 p.m. EDT. We did have a couple scheduling conflicts this week, but hopefully 12 p.m. EDT, we will be joining you guys back for the second semifinal match between Cognite and Josh SC2. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'll catch you next week. My name is Ro4. Peace.